Welcome to this explainer. So imagine this. You've got a kid who's super socially active, right? They're well connected, they're getting invited to all the parties, the teachers absolutely know their name. Everything seems great. And then, out of nowhere, one evening, they sit down and tell you they're being totally frozen out of a group chat, rumors are flying everywhere, and they literally do not want to go to school tomorrow. It's a heart-stopping moment for a parent. And honestly, it completely shatters this preconceived image we all have of who actually gets bullied. Let's get right into it. Because, saying, but you're popular, everyone likes you. That's almost always our very first well-meaning reaction as parents. We're just shocked, right? We want to reassure them. But as comforting as that sentence sounds to us, it can accidentally slam the door shut right at the exact moment our child finally gathered the courage to open it. We think we're building them up, but what they often hear is, I just don't believe your pain is real. We really need to shift our perspective here. Because a child can look incredibly powerful and confident on the outside, smiling on the sports field, winning awards, getting tons of likes online, while at the exact same time feeling completely terrifyingly unsafe on the inside. Being noticed and being secure, those are not the same thing. Popularity might mean your child is highly visible, but it absolutely does not guarantee that those relationships are actually kind or dependable. So why on earth does this happen? Well, research into school friendship groups actually reveals a really complicated picture. Moving higher up in a social group brings some totally hidden risks. First off, there's intense social competition. Suddenly, becoming the new team captain or getting the lead in the school play makes you a rival. Then there's that high visibility. When everybody knows your kid, just one edited photo or one nasty rumor can spread like wildfire. There's literally no safe corner. And to make matters worse, adults often don't believe them. We assume, oh, they have plenty of friends, they can handle it. Because of all this, these attacks usually happen entirely behind their back. We're talking fake accounts, secret polls, or just this quiet, intense pressure to choose sides. Okay, so here is the absolute crucial point. It comes down to what experts call the power gap. You see, bullying isn't just about who has the most friends overall. It really comes down to who holds the power in one specific situation. Your child might be the undisputed king or queen of the playground, but they can still feel completely helpless when targeted by, say, a teammate with way more influence in the locker room, or an admin in a private group chat. Power shifts and it changes from place to place. Now, when we see our kids hurting, especially our really confident kids, our alarm bells go off. We love them, we want to fix things immediately, and those fierce parental instincts just kick in. But unfortunately, sometimes those very instincts lead us to make well-meaning mistakes that can actually backfire and make the whole situation worse for our kid. Let's walk through a few of the most common ones. Let's start with the one we just touched on. Our total knee-jerk reaction is to say, but everyone likes you. The thing is, having 10 great friends doesn't magically cancel out the intense harm caused by one really powerful person or a group targeting you. So try a better approach. Use language that validates their pain without judging their social standing. Say something like, I know you have friends, and I still believe this can hurt. Tell me exactly what's been happening. That keeps the conversation going. Our next flawed instinct? Minimizing it, mostly just to calm our own anxiety. We call it just teen drama. Because, let's be honest, sometimes middle or high school issues do sound a little bit silly to our adult ears. But dismissing targeted rumors or planned exclusion as just drama can leave your child totally unprotected, especially when they can't stop the spread of the attack themselves. Instead of judging how silly it sounds, look for repeated patterns. Ask yourself, is there a power gap here where my child is trapped? Here's another major pitfall. Sometimes we tell our kids, hey, you know lots of people, gather your friends and show them who's stronger. But listen, telling a child to use their popularity to fight back turns a private, painful experience into a massive public group war. All that does is increase the risk of public shaming, revenge posts, and it just drags way more kids into the mess. The goal is never ever to help your child win a popularity contest. The goal is strictly stopping the harm and protecting their safety. Finally, there's that mama or papa bear instinct that makes us want to march down to the school and demand a public apology, or even fire off a massive group text to all the other parents to clear our kid's name. But trust me, public action usually just repeats the rumor and makes your child an even bigger, more visible target. It absolutely terrifies kids from speaking honestly with you again. Instead, ask the school for a quiet review, maybe a stronger adult watch, and some very clear boundaries. Okay, so what do we actually do? How do we fix this? Instead of relying on those reactive mistakes, we can lean on a highly practical, really calm framework designed specifically to support kids in these complex situations. It's called the SCOPE Action Plan. SCOPE is an acronym. First up is S. You need to see the pattern, not just the social image. Don't let their popularity hide the facts. You want to sit down and literally write out exactly what happened, when it happened, where, and who was involved. Then come C. Check the power in that specific setting. Ask yourself who actually controls that group chat or the team or the flow of gossip. Remember, power isn't always about the sheer number of friends a kid has. Next is O. Open a calm conversation. Look your child in the eye and promise them that you will not make a huge public scene without talking to them first, unless, of course, they are in immediate danger. That right there lowers their defenses so much. Then P. Protect them quietly. You do this without creating drama. Start saving messages and taking screenshots, go in and adjust their online privacy settings, and make sure to keep them closely connected to their healthy friends in safe spaces. And finally, E. Engage the school and follow up. Ask them for a specific action plan and a dedicated safety contact. And parents, please hear me on this one. Never, ever accept a teacher or administrator brushing it off by saying, well, your child is popular, they'll be totally fine. That is not a complete answer. You have to push past that social image and refocus them on the actual behavior and that power gap. So, what actually happens if your child comes to you with this exact issue tonight? Panic is totally natural, but our action needs to be intentional. I want to give you a very precise, grounded 72-hour roadmap, straight from our source material, for exactly what you should do next. All right, here's your timeline. Spend the first 24 hours just listening. Do not send off any angry messages, just save the details and double-check for any immediate physical threats or danger. Over the next 24 hours, start building a small, quiet safety plan. Identify one trusted adult at the school or the extracurricular activity that your child can safely go to. Then, by 72 hours, you are ready to calmly contact the appropriate adult at the school. You'll have your written facts ready, and you'll be focusing entirely on a plan rather than creating an audience. And when you do reach out to the school by that third day, you can literally use this exact phrasing. Tell them, my child is socially active, but reporting repeated rumors or group pressure. Ask them to review specific times and places, like the cafeteria or the locker room. State very clearly that you are asking for a quiet safety plan and that you absolutely do not want a public confrontation. This sets the perfect, professional, no-nonsense tone. Now, we do have to address a pretty complex reality here. Sometimes our targeted kids panic, and they make poor choices themselves. They might strike back with a nasty rumor of their own, or purposefully exclude someone else in retaliation. As parents, we have to hold two truths at once. What happened to our child was undeniably wrong, and we will absolutely protect them. But harmful payback on their end is also unacceptable. We can fiercely support them while still guiding them to make safer, better choices. Moving forward, you're going to want to keep tabs without completely suffocating them. Avoid sitting them down for an intense, hour-long interrogation every single day. Instead, try using these 4 simple questions for a really short daily check-in over the next week to track any patterns. Just ask, where did you feel safe today? Where did you feel tense? Who helped? And did anything spread or change? Praise them for honestly sharing and never ever praise them for hiding their pain just to look strong. We also need to know when a quiet plan just isn't enough. Obviously, always follow your local reporting steps for any immediate, serious physical threats, but beyond that, be highly observant of their mental health. Popular children often deeply believe they must always look confident, so they become absolute experts at hiding deep distress. If you start seeing severe sleep problems, school refusal, sudden outburst of anger, or a total loss of interest in their normal activities, do not hesitate for a second to seek professional support from a qualified health or mental health professional. Because at the end of the day, popularity is not a shield. All those invitations, the followers, the awards, they do not make our kids immune to pain. When we're faced with these absolutely terrifying moments, a child might actually beg us to stay silent because they're so afraid of looking weak. But in that crucial moment, we have to ask ourselves one very profound question. Are we just trying to protect a fragile social image, or are we truly ready to protect our child?